Hello viewers, welcome to Cars with Ben, and in today's video I am going to talk to you about 6 cheap hot hatches you can buy in the UK for under £5,000. Now all of these I have picked out for a fairly affordable price and somewhat coolish hot hatches that you might consider. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Obviously this is UK prices and I've used Creative Commons to make this video, so thank you for all these videos that I've been able to use. So coming in at number 1, I have gone for the BMW 1 Series hot hatchback. So this one is obviously a very unpopular BMW in terms of the range, but here you can get a 2010-2009 BMW for as little as £3,000. Now I have seen them at a lot less, but I have got a picture from one from Auto Trader, which is a reasonable one for around 70,000 miles, £3,000. Now that's not too bad, and you're probably going to get a slightly much better reliable car. But obviously being a BMW isn't quite as reliable as most people would like. Now I do think these can be nice depending on the spec, so just be careful of which one you pick up. Like this silver one here is quite nice, but being a BMW will be a bit more expensive for your first car, so just bear that in mind when you do look at these ones. Coming in at number 2, actually one of my favourite hot hatches to be made is the Suzuki Swift. The Suzuki Swift model era from around 2013 to 16, and they've now made a new one, so this one is a bit cheaper, and I have found this one at a very reasonable £2,500. Now I do really like these because they do sort of define a hot hatch, and they're Japanese, which makes them even better. Here you can see a 4-door version, so again still smaller. I wouldn't really define it as a hot hatch unless it's 2, generally speaking, but again a cool little car that you can get. And because it's Japanese, it'll be reliable and it will last a very long time just because that's the way they are. Being in the UK is a great first car, and it will last a very long time as well because you will want to get that insurance premium right down. Coming in at number 3, I have gone for the Seat Leon Cupra. Now, Cupra or FR, depending on which one you go for, it really doesn't matter. I think this is an excellent hot hatch. Now, this is going to be a bit more on the expensive side in terms of running it, just because it's more sporty, you've got fatter tyres, and you've got bigger engine. So it is something to consider. But when you do look at the history of these cars, they have been very popular now that we've got a newer model. So this makes this one even cheaper. This particular one is the 2008 to 2010 model. And if you get the Cupra, that's awesome. I do have to say I do not like the interior. Now, looking at Parkers, they have said this car is quite reliable, and that's why they can sort of do such high mileage. So if you do see higher mileage ones, that's usually a sign that it is going to last longer, which is great. Now, I do love it in red. It looks excellent. So they do come in sort of all sorts of colours, which is great if you are into hot hatch colours, as they should be. So this red looks excellent with the black wheels, and it's very low to the ground, so very low profile. They are very popular, these cars, for the tuning scene and just general car scene, and I can understand why. I would love to have one. So definitely one of my top choices on this list. Taking the number 4 spot is the Honda Civic Type R. Now the Honda Civic Type R has been around for a very long time, and I could have gone for this normal Civic, but really this is a hot hatch, so it had to be the Type R. Now the Type R is an excellent car, as we all know, and it has been around since, even longer than this model, but this particular one is very popular in the UK, and it comes with a whopping 200 horsepower and a time of 6.3 seconds to 60, which is great for hot hatches. Now it does define a hot hatch because it's 3-door, but just bear in mind this has probably been ranked quite a lot for a lot of these, so if you find a good example, the condition one, it's definitely worth taking. Here I found a very pristine one with only 50,000 miles on the clock, and obviously that upped the price a little bit, so just be aware that when you are looking at these, you might want to consider a 4 to 5 grand price tag. But again, still under 5 grand, and it was a driver's car made for the track and enjoyment. Now, because it's Japanese, it will last a very long time, so it's just something to bear in mind. Car Fossil have covered this quite a lot, and I think every car magazine have said how awesome this is to be one of the best hot hatches out there. Coming in at number 5 is the Ford Fiesta ST. Now this model is the early years of the ST before they really started getting popular in the UK. Now this is the 2007-2008 model, which is great for first time drivers. I have seen a lot of people drive these in the UK and still very popular today. For almost 10 years, this model has been just really, really popular for those drivers who are just getting into driving for the first time. And what I love about the ST now is it's so cheap, and because it's a Ford, you can actually still have the respect for it, which I love. Now, these Fords are built to just last, and got such lovely interior because it's an ST. And usually the mileage isn't as high as you would expect on, for example, a Civic, where it might be used an awful lot because there's a lot more of these STs. And they do look great in the specs because they have the stripes, they have the colours, and I think that appeals to a lot of people because that is what hot hatch is all about. And for as little as £2,000, I think that is excellent. Saving the best to last is the Renault 182. Now, the Renault 182 has been with us for quite a while now, and I would recommend the 2005 model era. Now, obviously, they've been updating the car throughout the years, but this is the best hot hatch you can buy for the money at its price. And without doubt, it's been coveted so much across so many different car channels. But for me, this is the one. Now, it comes with a 2 litre, and that 2 litre is so powerful in such a little engine. If you consider that most little cars only have a 1 litre, this really, really is powerful for what it is. Now, it's still got the classic Clio formula, which is simple, but they have incorporated a lot of the Renault Sport from the era of that Formula One and put it into this car, and clearly it works. Everyone really likes this car, and I've never heard a bad word about it. Now, in terms of prices, you are looking at around 2.5 to maybe 3 at the moment, but I have a suspecting feeling that these will increase over a time. Now, not much, I admit, but still a fun little hot hatch because it is the go-to at the moment if you wanted cheapness. Excellent quality and excellent build to drive and reliable because of so many parts. And being the only French option, I think it's definitely worth considering because this is the car I would go for. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I will see you in the next video. If you have, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I am bringing a lot more car content each week and gaming content. See you then.